Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and tonight is just going to be a really fun tarot chat. We're going to look at decks in relation to Nancy's tag. There, that's better. So Nancy from PaperMoon Tarot did a really fun tag associating tarot decks with movies, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So we're going to talk about our favorite movies. We're going to talk about how we see those movies in the tarot. And I think as another layer to that is by creating these connections with tarot decks and some of our favorite things, like we've done in a few of these other tarot tags, like food or dates or movies, songs, books, right? It creates these connections and it helps us to remember the cards and connect to the decks a lot better. So yeah, so hi to everybody who's here already in the chat. Gerald, Kristen, welcome. Hika, hello. It's nice to have you here. So yeah, so this is a really fun tag. And Andrew's here as well too. Welcome to Andrew. When Nancy did this, I thought, oh, this is going to be a challenging one. I've linked Nancy's channel below, as well as her original video. So you can see the movies that she chose for this. And I've chosen completely different ones, different decks, so that there'll be lots of variety as we, if you want to review her video. And so as we start to go through this, start to think of what your movies or your favorite movies might be in some of these categories. So let's get started. Let's get right to the cards and to the decks. I am not complaining by any means, but now I am going to have to shift my location for Thursday nights because the sun is shining on me. And I remember last spring, summer, that was a bit of a problem. So the glare might be a little bit tonight. So if you can bear with me, and I'll get that figured out for the remainder of the week and moving forward through this season. The first category is romantic comedy. I love romantic comedies. I mean, who doesn't love a good rom-com? And I made a long list of some of my favorite romantic comedies, and some of them are easier than others to put tarot decks in association with. And I couldn't really come up with a deck for some of my favorite ones. When I think back to movies like, I don't know, like some of the Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan movies, I mean, those are priceless. And so if anybody can come up with decks to associate with When Harry Met Sally, or Sleepless in Seattle. But the movie that came to mind, and there was a lot of decks I think that I could associate this, was Finding Sarah Marshall. I don't know if you've seen this movie. It takes place at the Turtle Bay Resort on Oahu. And it's a hilarious movie. And there's a part of this movie, Russell Brand. So Russell Brand is in this movie, and he plays a rock star boyfriend of Sarah Marshall. And he's very new age kind of a guy. And hello, Selkie, welcome. So what I was thinking for Finding Sarah Marshall was, because I was thinking of the Russell Brand character, I'm going to switch this so you guys can see the cards. I picked the Groovy Waite. And there's something very, oh, I don't want you to see my other decks. I need to zoom in. There we go. There's just something really, that Russell Brand, the character, I forget the name of the character that he plays in the movie, but this just reminded me so much of that hippy dippy energy, and it was just such a fun movie. And I don't know, one of my favorite parts of that movie is the Dracula opera. Do you guys know this one that I'm talking about? It's yeah. Anyway, so this is the Groovy Waite Tarot, and I rarely pull this out, but I really like this deck. This looks, and also because it's in Hawaii, and there's a lot of water in this deck as well too, and just kind of the the flowery energy reminds me a little bit of some of the clothes of Hawaii. Yeah, so that was my pick for finding Sarah Marshall. I do have one other in this category, and I was thinking of, well, it could be Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman just came to mind. The movie with oh my goodness, Richard Gere and help me, Richard Gere and oh my God, Julia Roberts. Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. And so this deck, this is the Lumina Tarot, is just so full of Pretty Woman. And it kind of actually looks like Julia Roberts in this movie. So this is my Pretty Woman deck. I just think it's really funny that I thought of the Lumina when it came to this movie. And I know a lot of people knock this deck for its pretty, pretty women, right? Oh, there you go. There's Richard Gere right there. So yeah, so this is my Pretty Woman deck. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know what your favorite. Oh, there we go. See, this is Pretty Woman. There you go. There's Richard Gere near the beginning of the movie. Oh my God, it's so funny. Yeah, it's really funny. And of course, these are not my favorite movies, but these are movies that I could definitely find decks to pair with. So yeah. I may very well do this again if I can really think of some of my decks to go with some of my favorite movies. And I think the energy of this tag is going to stay in the back of my mind for a little while because I love movies. I really do. I'm kind of a movie buff, and I know a lot. Okay, so the next category is horror movie. Horror movie. And this is not one of the genres that I watch a lot of movies of. So it was a little more challenging. And probably one of the first horror movies I ever watched was Carrie. I remember that and being scared, absolutely scared witless. And then I was thinking about Jaws. I will never forget. I mean, some people won't consider Jaws a horror movie, but it came out in summer. I don't know if you remember this when Jaws came out. It was summer. And I swear, we went to the beach. I remember exactly who I was with. And we went to the beach after seeing the movie, and I would not go in the water. I was scared to death. So Jaws was one that I was thinking of. And then there is an old 1963 movie called The Birds. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie. And this is not a deck that I actually cracked this open. I haven't even opened it yet, but I knew this was going to be the perfect deck for this, for The Birds. So this is Murder of Crows. So this is 1963 Hitchcock movie with Janet. Somebody tell me what her name is. Janet. Who remembers her name? The actress that got stuck inside the house. Yeah. This is quite a creepy deck. Oh my God. Anyway, I thought I would open this up. Yeah. So this is my Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds deck. And I do have another one in this category I'm going to share with you. So yeah, so this is The Birds. This is my first time actually looking at this deck. I was just going to save it for collector purposes. I don't know why, but I think I'm actually kind of digging this. Ooh, look at this one here, the tower. That actually kind of reminds me of the movie a lot. Okay, let's see who is here. Janet Leigh, is that right? Yeah, maybe. Janet Lee. Thank you. She was Jamie Lee's mother. Ah, Jamie Lee Curtis, you mean? Okay, yes, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, hello, Era. Oh, Annabella. Annabella Z. Hello, hello, hello. So, yes, I don't think I will be working with this deck too much, but there was something very, maybe Halloween party. And I just noticed that the red version is numbered, so I'm not sure how many were printed. Okay, so in the horror category under Jaws, I thought, okay, well, we're gonna have Dame Darcy Mermaid. And it's funny because there's a lot of cards that aren't exactly in the water. And I wasn't sure if there's actually a shark in this deck. I didn't take time to go through it, but I thought this was a good movie for Jaws. Ooh, and this is kind of creepy, this Ace of Wands. Look at that Ace of Wands. That's very, very creepy. I haven't used this for a little while. I don't think I used it last summer. It was my summer deck. Ooh, look at that. Look at the hand coming out of the water. There we go. So yeah, so I'm thinking this is Jaws. Maybe this is more, maybe it's not so scary, but anyway, that was what I was thinking for Jaws. All right. Okay. Next. Did I come up with others? Oh, okay. Another movie that I actually liked this movie. Poldergeist. Do you remember Poldergeist? I think there were multiple ones. And multiple. Anyway, I really kind of enjoyed this movie. And this is another deck that I haven't worked with, but I wanted to get it into my collection before. Just let me take off Gerald's comment. Where's Gerald's comment? There we go. I wanted to get this deck in my collection before it was not available. So this is what I was thinking for Poldergeist. This is called Ghosts and Spirits Tarot by Lisa Hunt. And this is another one that is, I still haven't worked with yet. But yeah, so this is my Poldergeist deck. Love this one. Look at that 10 of Wands. Love it. And this is one of those decks where I believe there are stories connected with each of the cards. And all the stuff flying around the house. I love it. I really do like Lisa Hunt's artwork. All right, let me catch up. Kristen says, I believe there were 3. Yeah, it was the first one that really captured my attention, of course. So yeah, so that was my pick for Poltergeist. Okay. All right. So the third category is animated movies. And this is a little bit harder for me. I mean, of course I could put, what is the Disney movie, The Little Mermaid? So that could also equally be Dame Darcy Mermaid. No problem there, that one. And I was also thinking, I sold my copy of the Mons Tarot. I bought the second edition. I waited and I thought, oh, I really, really want this deck. And then I got it and I didn't really like it. And then I did a side-by-side with Shadowland and the Mons. And I decided that if I was going to use a deck like this, I would use Shadowland more than I would use Mons Tarot. So this one, for animation, I'm putting down Monsters, Inc. This is my Monsters, Inc. deck, which is a really, really cute movie. And I'm wondering if we can find a Sully in this deck. Sully and Mike Wazowski, and oh my goodness, Roz. Can you remember? Like, doesn't that kind of looks like Monsters Inc., doesn't it? So this is my Monsters Inc. deck. Let's see here. Hi, Jessica. Welcome. Yeah. This one, that kind of looks like something from the movie. You know when they go to the sushi bar? Oh, that's such a fun scene. I love that scene at the sushi bar. Yeah. So anyway, this one is definitely my Monsters Inc. deck. Kind of fun. Oh gosh, there, that looks like Roz. Okay, you remember who was Roz? Was Roz was the what do you call her? She was the clerk that sat out front and took everybody's timesheets. Doesn't that look like Roz right there? Okay, pretty funny. Maybe I've got the name wrong. Receptionist? Yeah, like she was the one in that booth out front. Hilarious. Okay. And I have one more in this category. A really, really, really funny animated movie that, oh my God. I think it's one of the funny, I'm gonna list these in the description box below later. So I just want to make sure that the ones that I actually show you I have here. Okay, so the next one is Kung Fu Panda. Did you see Kung Fu Panda? Oh my God, it was so funny. So funny. It's like die laughing funny. Okay. And of course, I'm going to use Kim's deck. Now, Kim San, this is called Way of the Panda Tarot, is just, it's so perfect for Kung Fu Panda. The way that the expressions on the panda faces and the falling down and the silliness of it all. I mean, there's other characters in Kung Fu Panda besides the panda, but this one is what I chose for Kung Fu Panda because it's a really funny movie. Yeah, I'm just going to see what other, there's quite a few with the panda kind of falling all over the place. And this one, that's a good one, right? Because he had to learn, remember he had to learn the focus. He had to learn how to, yeah. So this totally makes sense for the movie. Yeah. Kung Fu Panda. It's too bad there's no, I wonder if there's a card with fortune cookies in it. I kind of forgot about that. I'm sure with Kim's sense of humor, there's got to be fortune cookies in one of these cards. I've only used this deck a few times, but I'm definitely not selling it. I think it's very, very unique. This tower card kind of fits very well for the movie as well, too. Yeah. Kung Fu Panda. I think there was a second one as well, too. All right, so the next category is action movies. This one got really, really tricky because I don't watch a lot of action. Love the Indiana Jones series. And I was also thinking about Top Gun. That's an action movie that I've watched many, many times. And I was thinking maybe Ancestral Tarot for Indiana Jones. Did I put it away? Somebody had asked me about Ancestral Tarot, about the, I might have put it away. So maybe Ancestral Tarot for Indiana Jones. Lawrence of Arabia, is that an action movie? I don't watch a lot of action movies. So the only one that I could really kind of think of a pair was Inception. Now, Inception could definitely go into sci-fi, right? Or fantasy. Oh my God. Anyway, whatever category it goes in, I decided to choose. Oh, you want to see the cards probably. Dreamkeeper's Tarot. I thought this was a good Inception. A good Inception deck. You know, because the way that they went into the dream, and then the dream was they went into different layers of the dream and different layers of reality. And I feel like with the Dreamkeeper's Tarot, you really get into those different layers of reality, and sometimes there's a little bit of time travel. So okay, so yeah, so maybe I've got this in the wrong category. I thought I had Ancestral here. So perhaps in this category, I would put, what do you think of Indiana Jones and Ancestral Tarot? Just because it's all over the world. Or it could be one of the 007 movies that kind of goes all over the world. Maybe that would work. Bourbon Tarot gives you an Inception feel. Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay. So action is a little tricky for me. Don't watch a lot of that. Okay, so now we go to sci-fi. Oh, I have Inception again here. Sci-fi. So for sci-fi, again, not a category I have a lot of decks or movies. So I was thinking about E.T. So what do you think about Tarot of the She for E.T.? There is, I don't know how much you know about the backstory of the She, if you've read any of John Matthews' books about the star people and the connections with the She. So that's kind of what I was thinking with E.T. and Tarot of the She. Tarot stash. Okay, so let's go to Gerald's comment. I like the combination of Indiana Jones. Okay. Okay. I don't know. It's all very difficult. So, you know, some genres, you know, really, really well, and other genres you don't watch a lot of movies in. So I feel like that the She, Amber, I don't know what you want, but you're not getting it. Yeah, so this felt a little ET-ish to me. You know, ET would definitely be able to stand up the standing stones. Hey, Danielle and Marg, welcome, welcome. Okay. All righty. So, and then I have another idea. So if Inception is in sci-fi, I chose a deck. Now, this might seem a little random and weird, but it feels kind of Inception-like to me. What do you think? I better move these out of the way so the light is not so funky. Okay. So how about this for Inception? What do you think? Does this feel? I think this is perfect for Inception. Now I'm looking at this. Holy cow. This is the Fountain Tarot, of course. Kristen says, Angelarium Oracle. Okay. I missed your comment. So yeah, so this is kind of perfect for that. And you know, the thing is because nothing is really in focus in this deck. Let's go to Andrew's comment. Okay, so Danielle agrees. Andrew's comment is the Fountain could work for Christopher Nolan's new movie to Tenet. Okay, I haven't seen that one. Hmm. Kind of, you know, I when I do pull this deck out, I really actually, I like this deck. It's, I used to not be able to work with it, and I actually quite enjoy working with it. Okay. Try to keep things semi-organized here. And I'll need to catch up on your videos because I have only watched Nancy's, so I don't know who has done this yet. The next category is fantasy. I was thinking of Avatar and Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, that kind of thing. I don't watch a lot of fantasy either. So the deck that really came to mind for that sort of thing was Tarot of the Hidden Realm. Tarot of the Hidden Realm, because I can definitely see maybe, where are we going here? I could definitely see a hobbit here, and this felt very Lord of the Ringsy to me. You know, because all of the, we also have the elf race in that movie as well too. So this one felt like the perfect Hobbit, Lord of the Rings kind of movie. And I really love this deck. And then we kind of have a Gandalf creature, a Gandalf character there as well too. Yeah, I wish I could think of a deck for Avatar. Avatar might also be Tarot of the She. Oh, and then we have the beautiful love story between Strider and that beautiful elf. Yeah, I'm kind of loving this actually. I read with this deck, wasn't last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before, I used this deck for readings, and I really, oh, and there's actually a Legolas in this deck, isn't there? The character of Legolas. Now let me think. I'm pretty sure we have Legolas in this deck. I almost 100% sure we do. There you go. There's another beautiful elf. And where are you? Where are you? I know you're here. Oh my God, I love this one. That's another favorite card. There he is. There you go. There's Legolas. So this is my Lord of the Rings deck. Arwen, yes, I love, love, love. Okay, so where's the love story? There we go. With Strider and Arwen. Yeah. Kind of beautiful. Let's go to, okay, that's right. I did see that. I saw the, Gerald, I saw the thumbnail, the rescheduled thumbnail. So this will be fun. All right. And then where do we go from here? And then the last category is foreign films. So for foreign films, I had a near impossible time because foreign films are not, I don't watch a lot of foreign films. And I'm going to tell you, oh, wow, you have the necklace that she wears? Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that this weekend. I believe I have one of those sets, like the disc set. Such a good series, and I love that love story. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, foreign films. Foreign films. That I just found that really, really tricky. So in the 80s, one of my favorite foreign films was Tampopo. Tampopo means dandelion, and Tampopo was the name of a ramen shop. It's a Japanese movie. It's kind of a love story. And then I think Sayonara was an American film. I watched that a lot around the same time. It's an older World War II movie. I'm pretty sure that was not a foreign film, but Tampopo definitely was. And so Tampopo was a love story. It took place primarily at, I think it was a Kurosawa movie, took place primarily at the ramen shop. It was so funny. Oh my God. So for Tampopo, I was just thinking, I mean, there's no ramen scenes in this deck, but I pulled out my manga tarot. It's kind of a weak, you know, and I also was thinking of Run. Actually, this might do better for that one. Run. That was a really cool movie. That was much later, and I'm going to actually put it. I'm going to switch. So this is going to be for Run. That was a samurai movie that came. Was that in the 90s? I think that's when my kids were little. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be my Run movie. Yeah, and part of that was filmed, I believe, in Canada, near Vancouver. And we went to a costume sale, and I picked up a full samurai costume, kind of just like that. And I wore it for a couple of Halloweens in a year from the sale of the movie costumes. This movie that Kristen is mentioning, I saw that on, because I just Googled like top 100 foreign films, and that Pan's Labyrinth came up a lot. So I'm definitely going to watch that movie. Good night, Selkie. Sleep well. And we're going back to Avatar. So Guardian. That's a good idea, Danielle. Yeah, that works really well. Really, really well. So yeah, so this is for Run. And I do have one more in this category. There we go. That's kind of perfect, this card here. All right. Yes. Okay. So when I do my list later, I'm going to put this one in for that movie. And then I have one other, because when this movie came out, I believe it was called Le Violon Rouge. Le Violon Rouge. And I don't know if it is dubbed in English, or it was actually produced in English. Hey there, Nancy. I'm on the last category. I'm on my very last one. And so for the red violin, and I'm sure you have all seen the red violin. It's just the most incredible movie. I was going through my Tarot de Marseille decks, and so in the red violin, we only see the major arcana, and the major arcana is brought into the story of the red violin that is painted with the blood. So the red violin is red because it was painted with the blood of the protagonist who died. And so the violin maker, in his sorrow, in his grief, painted the very last violin that he made from the blood of his dead wife. And so the violin travels through time, and it's just a really, really profound story. I'm sure you all know this movie, right? And so I wish that I had a more traditional Tarot de Marseille that looked a little bit ratty, because that's the deck that the tarot reader used in this book. But I chose this one because it just looks a little bit old. Andrew, this is the La Corte de Tarot. And death is part of the story as well too. I actually ordered that movie recently on Amazon and purchased the DVD because I wanted to make sure I always had access to that movie. It's just such an incredible film. Yeah, let's see if I can find some more majors for you here. Yeah, and the coins in this deck are just incredible, just incredible. Yeah. So there you have it. There you have it. It's a pretty special deck, Jessica. Yeah. It's Italian restaurant. Yes. And I know Nancy used this deck as well too in her video. Yeah. Okay, so I have a couple other suggestions. I was thinking that so for those of you that are going to do this tag, you know, of course there's other genres of films that could be brought into this, right? There could be some kind of like a family film, children's film. And I was also thinking perhaps like a Christmas flick, something like that. So a seasonal flick. And yeah, it would be fun. It'd be fun to expand and do a few more, but I'm going to think when Gerald, you and Jen and Jamie do your tarot at the movies, I'll see if I can come up with some more ideas for action, which I felt was kind of weak, and action and mostly action. Like the others, I think I did justice too. So yeah, so I look forward to seeing yours. Okay, so that's it for the tag. Oh, no worries, Nancy. We're all busy people. What I wanted to say was that I was in a chat on Wednesday night in the Facebook group, and we were talking about crystals. And I have a crystal course, a 4-class course that I have taught several times. And so I pulled it out, and I have decided that I'm going to do it again. And I posted that on my shop today. And it starts, it covers pretty much all of the topics that you need, especially if you're a beginner with crystals. So the introductory course talks about everything from clearing and charging crystals to using a pendulum, and basic gridding techniques. And then part 2 is about grounding. Part 3 is about clearing EMF and other negative energies. And then part 4 is about connecting with chakras. So that is now on my shop, on my website. And all of the links for everything you need are down below. So if you click on the thing, Other Offerings by Sadhana, that'll take you to my link tree, and it will take you to wherever it is that you need to go. The workshop, it's not really a workshop. It's a retreat weekend, 2 days, is also there. And I'm really looking forward to that weekend. Other things that are coming up are, what else is coming up? There's only 2 tarot classes that are on the page right now. And there's a second series of Read With Me 2 that's coming up, as well as a court card class. So if you're interested in that, and those will be the last tarot classes that I'm teaching for a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a little bit of work. I've decided that for the next book club. So if you're not aware, I have a Facebook group, And in the Facebook group, it's called Sadhana's Healing Room. It's something like that. I don't even know what my Facebook group is called. It's linked down below as well too. Every Wednesday, I come on and we chat about the reading for the week and something else that is pertinent to what's going on in the group. And we started a book club. And the book club started, we're on our second book. So it started a few months ago. It started this year, I believe. And for the third book selection, I'm going to be doing autobiography of a yogi, because so many people have asked me for feedback on that particular book. So I'm going to come back on, not today, and do an introductory video and talk about autobiography of a yogi. If you've never read the book, it's an incredible, incredible book that includes all kinds of magical, mystical experiences where Yogananda's teacher actually, like he's able to do transfiguration. He actually moves from place to place and is able to apparate and disapparate and apparate. It's like the stuff that is in that book is so incredible. One of my favorite chapters towards the end of the book is where he meets his guru, his Sri Yukteswar, in a hotel room. And so he comes back for a visit after he's left his body. And he answers some of his deepest questions about what happens after death. And that chapter, I often pull the book out and just read that chapter. It's quite profound. So this is a book that is deeply spiritual. And there's so much woo in this book. It's mind-boggling. It kind of like makes your head spin around. The only challenge with the book is there are a lot of Indian place names. There's some yogic terms that might be unfamiliar. So it's a novel, it's an autobiography you want to take your time with, just because there's a lot of unfamiliar words. I remember the first time I read it, it was a pretty slow read. But now it's just, for me, I just love it. And so I want to share my enthusiasm for the book. I want to do a little bit of teaching as well too. So as some of the concepts come up, I can expand and explain and share some of my stories and things that have happened to me with different teachers and working with yoga and so forth. So this particular book club selection will be a little different than the previous two. But yeah, I love this book so much. It's one of my favorite books. I can't tell you how many times I've read it. And so, yeah, that's what's going to happen in book club starting at the beginning of May. Alrighty. Let's go here. So, oh, that's great. You have 2 surprise categories. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And, oh, that's good, Danielle. I'm hoping that, there's enough of an interest in the book club to do this. And even if the group is really small in the book club that wants to do it, I will, I'm thinking, because a lot of, I just really need to let people know, because a lot of the people who asked about it aren't in the Facebook group. So I just need to figure out the logistics of letting everybody know that this is happening and this is how I'm going to do it. And I don't know if I want to broadcast. I don't think I want to broadcast on YouTube, because I love these private conversations, or the smaller conversations. So yeah. Do you think Blavatsky could disapparate? Autobiography of a yogi. All right, I'll type it down here. Oh, it's down. Kristen already typed it below down here. Okay, so In order to disapparate and apparate, you need to vibrate at a very, very high frequency. And I think it's possible. I think it's, after reading this book, without a doubt, I think it's possible. But in order to do it, your frequency just has to be so pure. And I think also there is a component of, I forget the word right now. Oh, what's the word? When an enlightened being actually touches you, I can't even think of the word right now. There's certain people that have been touched by avatars who are of a God, like a Christ consciousness level frequency. And I think anybody who's been touched by that level of frequency is able to disapparate and apparate. And I don't think that I believe in this book, I was just thinking about this, that when you get to that level of frequency, it can't go on for a long time. I think there was something about, he knew that was happening toward the end of his life. He wasn't able to do that as a young man. But I'm going to have to go back and read that part of the book. But yeah, it's just a fascinating concept. So I'm really excited to read it again. Okay, so it's on Audible and Kindle as well too. It's a really good question, Anna. I think I'm going to have to go back and do a little bit of reading, because I don't know about that. What Andrew's talking about has happened to me as well too. I've definitely walked through portals. And I've talked about that a little bit. And I don't think that's the same thing. You know, it's when you're able to transport your physical body to another location. Yeah. Anyway, that is a little part of that book. I believe there's a lot of chapters in that book, and so it's going to take at least a couple months, 3 months maybe, to really do it justice. But we'll take it little by little, and if we go faster, we go faster. But that's going to be coming up towards the beginning of May. So thanks for being here tonight, and I look forward to watching this tag with in any of your channels. So make sure you use Nancy's hashtag, and so it's easy to find. And I will see some of you over the weekend. Okay, take good care of yourselves, and namaste.